what you need in the building, not what you need today. That's my sister channel. Sorry, my bad. I'm so used to saying what you need in the building. I actually said that. I'm Christ, I am disciple, and as you can see from the title, we're looking at some of the movies from the Snyderverse that are either canceled or possible spin-offs that we as fans would have loved to see. So that's one of the major topics that we're going to talk about, because I always believe you should be positive and should talk about what you love. So the program today is more about that. And that's why I want to invite you as fans out there to jump on here and feel free to do so. I love to hear your voices and stuff. You can always talk in the chat as well. But the link to jump in here as a guest and speak about what you may be passionate about or what movies you'd like to see in the Snyderverse, you can just pop into that link you see right now displayed on the screen. It's also in the chat section, so you can check that out. Again, I am Christ, I am disciple. You see my name in the corner. We're going to start off with a piece of scripture, and we'll talk about, we'll do it in two sections of the movies you might want to see. So there were the canceled Snyderverse movies that we need to talk about, and we can talk about possible Snyderverse spin-off movies from all the previous Snyderverse movies. Maybe we talk about some spin-offs that'll happen. And even if those spin-offs or some sort of movie like those spin-offs will be happening in this DCU, Guns DCU, or his forecast DCU, doesn't mean we can't talk about them. And even if a movie has already come out in the cinema, for example, The Flash, and you know, if you wanted to see what the Snyderverse Flash movie would have been like, you can put that there. So please engage. This is your time. This is all about what you would like to see as fans. Also, another very exciting topic that I think we should be talking about is how do we as fans handle false propaganda when people start spreading all kinds of false rumors about the Snyderverse fans, about the Snyderverse, about us, about Zack Snyder, about Deborah Snyder, about just the amount of people out here in this movement, and then the amount of people just fans of Zack Snyder. I like seeing his movies, and there are people who are fans of DC and like the serious tone that DC was taking. If you're any one of the following, how do you deal with situations where people are putting out false information, whether it's through Hollywood or whether it's through media, whether it's through film? How do we deal with that? So we're going to talk about that, as well as we're going to talk about something outside of DC, just films in general that you're excited to see this year. So let's get into all of it from the beginning. Let me start off with a piece of scripture. But like I said before, if you want to join in StreamYard right now, if you want to hop on here and have a dialogue with me about these topics, feel free to do so. But I'm going to start off with a piece of scriptures, like I said. So let me get to it. Psalms 82, Psalms 83 verses 1 and 2 says, "Oh God, don't sit idly by, silent and inactive. Don't you hear the tumult of your enemies? Don't you see what your arrogant enemies are doing?" I just want to leave it right there. Again, it comes from Psalms 83 verses 1 and 2. And you'll notice that the scriptures I keep on reading are only 2 verses of scripture. And we can go into that and elaborate on that in more detail as we move along in here. But let's start off. This is your hour. This is your time. I can give some as well. Some canceled Snyderverse movies. Now, first of all, let me put some context to that. So there actually was a DCEU slate of movies that began after Man of Steel. So Zack Snyder, after BBS, I mean, they really started telling us what the slate was. They had plans, but this universe, you know, and a slate of movies that were to come was already lined up. Now, again, I just want to repeat before I go into more detail. Christ I am disciple. You will see the link to join here as a guest. Feel free to, you know, go the gamut of your imagination if you want to, in terms of movies that were canceled that you would have loved to see. Okay, so you had a certain slate of movies. It started off with Man of Steel, then it was BVS, Then after that was the Suicide Squad, and then after that was Wonder Woman. All of these were following perfectly the original DCU blueprint plan. Then after that was supposed to be Justice League, but we got something else. Thankfully, that's rectified. Zack Snyder put out his vision, which came out in 2021. After that was supposed to be what movie? Was supposed to come after Zack Snyder's Justice League. That movie was canceled, right? I'll give you a hint. The director of that movie was Ben Affleck. Okay. So, we ended up with another movie with the same title. Now, remember, the fans had designed that title. The fans had given the title to that movie. Zack Snyder had done, and if you look actually at this stream's profile picture, that's a picture of that movie, right? And from that came the hashtag, and I'm not going to say what it is. So that's just one of several canceled Snyderverse movies. And as we know now, having seen the Snyder Cut, having seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League literally referred to that movie, and that was supposed to be the next movie that we were supposed to see after Justice League. So that was the next movie in the slate of movies that was to come. By the way, just to put it in there, again, another hint about canceled Snyderverse movies. This wasn't canceled, though. This wasn't canceled, but this movie was changed up so much, just like how Justice League was changed up quite a lot. This movie was also changed up quite a lot. And the movie I'm talking about was the third DCEU movie. And if you guys know what that third DCEU movie is, I'm not going to mention its name so you guys can talk about it. Remember, this is about movies that you would like to see from the Snyderverse. Okay, I divided it into two parts. I did canceled Snyderverse movies and possible Snyderverse spinoffs. So this was a sort of a spinoff movie, kind of like, because not really, but kind of. It wasn't really. It was its own thing. And the director for this movie, as you know, is David Ayer. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. So those are two movies I know you as fans not only are looking forward to seeing, but you actually started to request, and you also, as fans, started movements behind it with a hashtag, right? You guys know what those two movies are. But there's way more canceled Snyderverse movies, and we're not talking about. Let's get to that. Some of them you know, and some of them I haven't heard too many people talking about. And then there are spin-off Snyderverse movies also that were supposed to happen, and they were canceled. So we're going to get into all of that as well. All right, so you guys, it's your turn. The link is there on StreamYard. Just pop in, man. Pop in. You don't have to show your face, but if you want to show your face, that'd be great. So I'd like to know the face behind the person that I'm talking to. Me, you just can find me on Twitter. I am AEPGM46, also known as AP Restore the Snyderverse, hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. So if you don't know who I am now, you know me. My real name is Anson Phillip. And again, I go by Christ I Am Disciple. That is my professional music performance name. I do my own music, and I also sing my own songs. I make my own material. Some of you are familiar with some of it. Some of you are not familiar with it. I'm a Christian, obviously, so that's why Christ I Am Disciple. And I've been a part of the Snyderverse since its inception, since Man of Steel. Zack Snyder got me back interested in Superman. And then BVS blew my mind. I went to see BVS, I believe, 14 times in the cinema and IMAX. I went and saw Man of Steel 6 times in the cinema and IMAX. And I was hooked, you know. And like many other people who were sort of, they had become comic book movie fatigued. I was fatigued with comic book movies since way back then. this got me back interested in comic book movies, um, and Zack Snyder's take. And I believe this sentiment is shared by many a person that enjoyed the Snyderverse and really was sad and quite disappointed that these kinds of movies weren't being done anymore. Um, we were pleasantly refreshed by the Joker movie. The Joker movie was a very, very, very good, refreshing movie, and I really enjoyed it. And I found it slightly funny in a very dark way. But I thought that Joker movie was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. Todd Phillips, he's doing a sequel. I don't think it really deserves a sequel. I don't know if I'll be watching the sequel. Um, but finally, we got something. We were starving to get some really good content. The Batman movie may be something my speed, even though it didn't really add anything to the table. Todd Phillips, The Joker, really makes you think a lot because it's layered and it is really his telling of the story, so you don't know what's true, what's not true, that kind of thing. And it made it very interesting, nuanced, and just very interesting. And those kinds of movies, for me, I would more look at. Even though, to be honest with you, the Joker movie, as much as it's a sort of case study and why he was the Joker and kind of comments on society, etc., I must say, and a period film as well, it's a period piece. I must say, still, I don't think surpasses the quality of film I've seen in the 3 films I've seen of Zack Snyder and the 1 film of Patty Jenkins, her Wonder Woman movie. I think those were peak Snyderverse. To be honest with you, I'm yet to see David Ayer's take on the suicide and what he was going for. I would be very interested to see. I think most of the DCU movies now that I've seen, to me, are shallow. They actually have absolutely no content, really, nothing for relevance for life. I mean, Aquaman, shout out to Lyra Khan. What's up, brother? Lyra Khan says hello to you. Thank you very much, sir. I think the content of movies today, especially comic book movies, especially DC comic book movies, has been quite shallow. It's a telling of a story with no real morals, no real take-home message that you could use in your life, no necessary relevance, just a telling of a story in a world. And I think that's what's lacking today in DC. There's not much content. There's not much substance to the movies. There's more just purely entertainment. It's more of a theme park ride, as they say. Marvel's like a theme park ride. It's more like that. And it's a very watered down, simplistic the moral of the story, which is not really my cup of tea. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that I really miss those movies. I would really love to see the Air cut as a result of that. And I just mentioned the name of the movie, the Air cut. So that's one of the canceled Snyderverse movies. Well, sort of, because the director's vision never really truly came out. So Leroy Kong says, James Gunn has killed DC films. If you want to join as a guest, my friend, just click the StreamYard link. And I would like to hear some of the DC Snyderverse movies you would love to see on the screen. I think this is something we need to vocalize and we need to put on video, recorded somewhere. Nobody's really doing that. So I would wish you to join my guest here, Leo Kong, and let's chop it up. And if we can get some more people in here as guests to suggest your movies, let's suggest them one after the other. I'm going to start the ball rolling then. So Make the Batfleck movie is one of those movies we all are anticipating with bated breath. We would love to see Joe Manganiello. We love to see Ben Affleck. We'd like to see who with this version of Batgirl that's going to be in this movie. Those are the 3 characters we know is going to be in there. And of course, Alfred's going to be in there. I don't know if Alfred will die at the end of the movie, but it's still something I would love to see. And it would explain, probably if Alfred does die in that movie, it would explain why in the Justice League Part 2, we don't see Alfred. And Batfleck is on his own. Huh? Hint, hint. So I'm just saying. So those are 2 of the movies that we talk about. And, of course, Joe Manganiello had actually started a designing story for Deathstroke. That actually he had a Deathstroke story, and we're talking about make the Deathstroke on HBO Max. It's no longer called HBO Max; it's called Max. But I don't care about that. I would prefer Deathstroke just be in cinemas, and instead of being a series, just do it as a movie. You know what I mean? It's going to be a low budget movie because it doesn't take, there's no big set of special effects. There's no big set of traveling and all of that. So that's a cheap movie to make. That take maybe maximum $50 million, if so much. I mean, it might be a budget of only 15 million needed for that movie, which could be done on Netflix, which could be done. And that's why some people say, well, sell Snyderverse to Netflix, or, but we'll see. Okay, here's Leroy Kong. Leroy Kong in the building. Yes, sir.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm very good, sir. And you?
Sorry to barge in on your line. I don't mean to disturb you.
No. No, this is the purpose of this live, is for fans to give the movies they would love to see from the Snyderverse. So we're talking about Make the Batfleck movie. We're talking about the Air Cut. We're talking about a Deathstroke movie. Give me some more that you would like. Now,
a Man of Steel, a Superman Batman movie with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck.
1000%. A Superman solo movie, and we mean solo movie. We don't mean ensemble movie. We mean solo movie. We want one with Henry Cavill, maybe a little Ben Affleck in there, maybe a little Gal Gadot on the side because they're in the universe. But really, the movie's focus on Superman. We don't want no collage and a whole set of superheroes in there. We don't want that. We want a Superman movie. Who would be the major villain of that movie?
I say Brainiac. Why not Brainiac?
All right. Now remember, they canceled Metallo in BVS. Why you can't have Metallo in there?
Yes, more than one villain. Let's say Brainiac, Darkseid, Bizarro, Lex Luthor, natural Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg. Right. We need to see Legion of Doom as well. But
that's plenty. That's plenty for. No, wait. But in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, there's technically a kind of Legion of Doom in there.
Yeah.
Because Lex Luthor does lead a squad of people. And then he gets Darkseid on his side, and Darkseid, conquers the earth.
Yeah. But I think they should introduce the Bat family and the Super family, like Superman's son and Batman's son, Damian Wayne and John Kent.
Oh, so you like what James Gunn is doing with Batman?
No, I'm not talking James Gunn. No, I think that Zack Snyder should introduce the Bat family and the Super family, like introduce Damian Wayne and John Kent. You understand? Not James Gunn. I forgotten about James Gunn. James Gunn has killed DC films. I have no interest in James Gunn DC.
Hold on. Let me you have that actually up on the screen. James Gunn has killed DC films. You just said.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. But for the Superman film, what are the major? Brainiac will be one of the major villains. We've never seen Brainiac on movie screens.
Bizarro can be good in it. Parasite will be awesome.
But this is my point. My point is we can't have too many villains in there. We
can have at least 3 or 4 villains. Nothing wrong if you have 3 or 4 or 5 villains in the movie. That would be awesome.
But
you remember we tried on Wonder Woman. I need to. Batfleck should appear in and Wonder Woman appear in it.
All right. But what I'm saying is this, right? That's quite a lot of characters. And 2, remember, we want to see Superman performing. He's going to be in the black suit. He's not going to be in a blue suit. That's why I know.
He shouldn't be in the black suit.
Let me tell you why. Because remember, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, when he turns evil, he's in the black suit. But as soon as he turns evil, he turns to the blue suit. This is very important to show.
No. I think that
to show.
It should be in the red suit. Can you hear me? I turn on my fan. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
He should be in the red suit. He should be in the red suit. It's better when he's in the red suit, in my opinion. He's in the red suit, brighter color show is a more hopeful Superman. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but here's my thing, right? Zack Snyder wanted to denote a certain time in Superman's existence, right? So you remember he's developing the Superman. The Superman's evolving as he goes along. So that period where he's in the black suit from Zack Snyder's Justice League until he turns evil, because Darkseid influences him, is a period where he's now showing himself as son of Krypton. That's the son of Krypton moment, which is why he's in the black suit. You get me? It's not he's yes, he's embraced Earth. That's why he was in the blue and red suit the first time in Man of Steel, blue and red suit, because he embraced Earth, right? So he's like a guide or a symbol of hope to Earth. So that's why we saw him in the blue and red suit, and he wasn't in the black suit inside of the spaceship when the intelligence, the AI that was his father, was talking to him. That's why he didn't have a black suit. His father was dressed in the kind of dark Kryptonian garb, but the suit he gave his son, and he made the ship make for his son, was a blue and red suit. Because why? What did he say? He said when he opened his chest, he said, "This is a symbol of the house." Right. And he said,
I think the blue and red suit is better because that's a symbol of hope. You know what I mean? I think
the Earth is a blue, but it's also, yes, it's a blue planet, so he's the symbol of hope for Earth. But when he came back in the black suit, he was a symbol of hope for Krypton, because he's the last son of Krypton. And so now he's embracing that identity. So he embraced Earth as his own, and now he's embracing Krypton as his own. And then the next metamorphosis, after he turns evil, he's embracing Earth, but he's embracing Earth as a tyrant. He's trying to force everybody to be under him, and he's under Darkseid's influence. And then he has a fourth suit he's going to be wearing.
But
right?
Why not do something to erase the nightmare timeline? Why not say, all right, Flash, do something to prevent that?
Well, Flash will go back and erase the night. He'll go back and erase the nightmare timeline. But Superman is going to put on
the nightmare timeline from happening. Prevent that from happening. Why not do that? Do a storyline that is prevented. We don't need that. I don't think we need a nightmare timeline. I don't think we need that.
Excuse me. You remember Flash goes back in time and erases the nightmare timeline. So because Bruce Wayne gives his life to stop Darkseid, to protect Lois, so Superman now changes his suit. Remember, he was in a black suit to defend Earth. To defend Earth, he's going to be in a different suit. That's what you have to understand. That's what Zack Snyder was building up to.
Why not prevent Batflick from dying? Why not let it have a happy ending instead of Batflick dying?
No, because there's several different reasons why he has to die. Remember in the nightmare timeline. Remember in the nightmare timeline, Joker is telling him, "You don't have the cojones to die yourself." Right? Kind of like with the Matrix, when Neo is reinserted into the Matrix and all these things. The ultimate sacrifice for Ben is to give his life, because if you think about it, right? Superman dies, right? Superman gave his life for the world. And now Batman, we've never seen this. Oh yes, we have seen this in video games. Batman died in video games, but Batman hasn't died in live action. Has he died in animated films?
No.
Right. So this will be the first. So this will be the first time Batman actually dies in live action.
I don't think it should happen though. I think they should change that to something, make it more happy.
No, I would like to see. I'll tell you why I like to see that. Right? Because to me, the ultimate sacrifice is giving your life for other people. Right? And if to save the world, that will make Batman a hero. That will make him a martyr. And then you move on to whatever. They were saying the son of Clark and Lewis would be the next Batman. So he would be Bruce Kent, right? But it don't have to be Bruce Kent. It could be like you saying, it could be the Superman, the other Superman,
John Kent.
John Kent. Maybe he's John Bruce Kent. John Bruce Kent. To
No,
give tribute to.
I don't think they should do it like that. I think that they should have John Kent become Superboy, and Damian Wayne becomes Batman. Damian Wayne becomes Robin. That's
Yeah,
all.
but how you get Damian Wayne? That's what I'm trying to say.
Damian Wayne.
Remember, Damian Wayne is the son of. Damian Wayne is not the son of. Is Damian Wayne the son of Catwoman, or is the son of
Talia al Ghul? Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul. Right. We don't got no, but we ain't got no Talia al Ghul. That's the problem.
Well, they can have Talia al Ghul. Like he was drugged when he got Talia al Ghul pregnant. He was drugged. He was brainwashed and drugged. He did not know he had a son.
Okay, so you could probably introduce. Okay, you could probably introduce that in Superman or something. But what I'm saying is that in the Superman, so like what you're saying with the Superman solo movie, I would expect him to be in the black suit. The thing about it is, I don't expect to see him in the black suit all the time in the Superman movie. He's not just flying around all the time. They obviously have to build some kind of story and
something unique story.
Yeah, and it has to be something. I think that.
They should add the Golden Age Silver Age story. Add the Golden Age Silver Age storyline. I think
that it has to be a formidable opponent, such that it occupies Superman's time, so that he's not aware that Darkseid is still making plans to come to Earth, and Lex Luthor's communicating with Darkseid, and Lex Luthor's rounding up a set of people. So Lex Luthor's trying to get rid of Batman, obviously, by having Deathstroke clear him out, because remember, Batman is the one that put him in Arkham Asylum. So he's trying to get rid of Batman, right? In addition, Lex Luthor always have 7, 8 different plans. So he's probably still contacted Darkseid again somehow. I don't know how. And so he's arranging for that in the background while Superman's busy occupied facing probably Brainiac and Bizarro or Brainiac. And I say Metallo because Metallo is an interesting character, and also Wallace O'Keefe, even though he's dead, maybe there's parts of him that's still alive somehow, some way, and they put him back together as Metallo or something like that. Because I think Kryptonite will weaken Superman, and then Brainiac on top of that. Brainiac coming for you, and you have Kryptonite on that. That'd be cool, man. Because we don't know what happened to the Kryptonite spear, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, remember, Lex Luthor had made Doomsday, and we don't know what happened to Doomsday. What happened to Doomsday's buddy? Says all of that. Exactly. That's why you could get Bizarro Superman from Doomsday or something like that. I don't know how you would clone off a piece of him and get Bizarro Superman, like you were saying. I could see a story kind of forming out of that, But like you said, Superman, a solo sequel, not a ensemble sequel, a solo sequel where you still have Wonder Woman somewhere in there. You have a little bit of Batman somewhere in there. Yeah.
But the thing is, the WB are joking themselves. 2018, they should have released a Superman movie on its 80th anniversary. This year, they should have released a Superman movie with Henry Cavill. They would be in a way better position. But they
what's the thing? Which is kind of sad. After Henry Cavill was lined up to do a Superman movie after Black Adam, and he probably would have done it next year. Probably next year he would have done the Superman movie, and boy, fans would have been so happy, because I'm telling you, this is, people have been asked since the first Man of Steel movie. People have been asking for 10 years now. People have been asking for a Superman solo movie, and instead, Warner Brothers decided to change the cast, so they're trying to get rid of all the old cast. Where Abdi and DeLuca, who's the primary people, was trying to keep the old cast and then try to transition to the new cast, do the ensemble movie, whether it's Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever, and then you could transition from there, just kind of like what Marvel did. Marvel, got Iron Man, all of them, and now they're cycling into this new thing, right?
Yeah, they let Marvel steal their ideas and walk over them. They're joking, man. They're joking themselves. Walter Amada and these idiots are joking, man. They're joking themselves.
Boy. Yeah, they really kind of.
James Gunn, I have no interest. In the animated part, they have a Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths coming out next year in the animated part. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and the animated part kicking butt. Yeah, but you make your bulk of money of a live action. So,
Yeah.
what is another canceled Superman movie? Because obviously, Man of Steel was canceled when they fired Henry Cavill. Man of Steel, and would that have been in the Snyderverse? Probably, probably not. We don't know. But what I'm saying is, I would love to see a sequel to Superman, a sequel solo movie in the
Yeah.
Snyderverse. I agree with you on
I would
that.
love to see.
What?
I would love to see Superman meet up with the other Superman in the multiverse, like Brandon
Mm,
Rouse, Tyler Hoechlin,
wow.
and Tom Welling. All of them meet up in one movie. They should. All that would be awesome. Meet up with
And
Simon
then they
Meet
already, and the
Michael
Snyderverse
B.
had already
Jordan,
introduced the multiverse, so that would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have really been great. Yeah,
They let
yeah.
Marvel beat them to the punch with the multiverse. They're joking themselves, man. Joking themselves. They
Well,
would have been in a better position now. They'll be millions and hundreds of $1 million better right now. But they joke it out. They're losing money
so
right now.
of course, of course.
You know
Even though
that James one,
it looks like
yeah,
Barbie might be a hit. Barbie might be a hit. It could flop
yeah,
still.
Barbie. Yeah, Barbie and Open Eye. But I'm not interested in those movies. They're just a
I am
strategy thing.
interested
You
in
know what I mean?
Oppenheimer. I'm
Yeah,
interested in
Open,
Oppenheimer.
yeah.
I'm not interested in Barbie, of course.
Barbie, yeah, but the thing is, they joke it out. They're joking themselves. They joke it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I heard that James one and James one and James gonna not seen eye to eye because if
no,
anything James one is going to sue them. They delay Aquaman. James one is
right,
going to sue them because he said that they are ruining Aquaman. All those things.
right.
Joking, man. Joking themselves.
Which reminds me, so cancel Snyderverse movies. Now after the Batman movie, and let's throw in Superman movie there. You were
Yeah,
supposed to have had the Flash movie after that. So you
yeah.
no, sorry. We were supposed to have Justice League 2, then we were
And
supposed to
three.
have the Flash movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now you tell me what kind of Flash movie you would have liked to see. You like this Flash movie that came out, or do you think it should have been simpler? It shouldn't have been a multiverse. It shouldn't have been Flashpoint. It should have been maybe just a basic Flash movie introducing some of the Flash
Well,
villains. Like
yeah, yeah. To be honest, I love this Flash movie despite what's happening right now. But they should do it another way. They should do it a basic Flash movie. You know, have the Flash. They should continue from the race with when Superman and Flash race in Justice League. They should continue from that storyline and go down. You know what I mean? It would have been
okay,
a lot better. You know what I mean? But
okay. That's an interesting take I never thought
yeah,
about because
there's something unique
they
and special.
that's right, because Justice League 2017 was their canon, right? That
Yeah,
is not it's not Zack Snyder's Justice League. So anybody tell me Black Adam had Snyderverse, it was in the Snyderverse, it's not true because Warner Brothers had said that Zack Snyder's Justice League is not canon to the DCEU. So
yeah,
any Superman that appeared in Black Adam had to be from the universe with Justice League 2017. So yeah, if you're continuing off of that, yeah, you could have had the race, Flash racing Superman, and then from there, Flash go into his hometown
Central
of
City,
Central
Central.
City, and then you see him, Iris West, maybe
Yeah,
one or two Flash villains, and that would have been good enough. Kevin,
yeah.
um, what is his name? Fumawea. Fumawea should have directed that. That would have been nice.
But they had that falling out or some rubbish. But WB competitors, I blame them for the fall of the DC. I blame James Gunn and the mistakes that they made. You know what I mean? Joking, man.
Definitely.
Joking
Well,
themselves.
well, not only James Gunn. I like I said before, I blame a certain set of executives
I
from
blame James Gunn,
Jeff Johns,
all of them. All
because
of them. Kevin
Jeff
Sujara,
Johns, Walter
Jeff John,
Hamada. These were all heads of DC. Jeff
Walter
Johns, Walter
yes.
Hamada, and James Gunn, and Peter
Toby
Safran,
Emmerich, Toby Emmerich,
Toby
and those
Emmerich.
Kevin
Right,
Sujara and those idiots. Those are
right,
those
right, right.
clowns.
Yes, I don't blame John Berg too much because John Berg, he get out the picture and he even trying to he apologized to the official and he get it.
Yeah.
I don't hear nothing about John Berg anymore. But
Toby
the
Emmerich
other
and those
guys,
idiots.
yeah,
I blame them.
I agree.
And,
I
and, and
agree.
the fan base as well who moan and bitch and these idiots who moan and bitch and complain. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but most of those guys weren't DC fans. There was one or two DC fans in there, but the people who usually were bitching and complaining were actually Marvel fans.
Right.
They didn't
And, they, and And they cater to these idiots. They cater to these idiots. That's what's happening right now. That's why they change.
Yeah.
They
But
get panic and cater to these idiots.
I think they still are catering to them because
Yeah.
they're still trying to get the preteens, the kids. It's still trying to make it a family movie, which doesn't make no sense. Barbie's not
Doesn't
a
make sense.
family movie. And most of the movies they've been making has adult jokes in it and some lewdness and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
understand. You say you're catering to children, but then you come in with these very, very adult jokes, and you think that's great. I just don't like it. And me personally, I think it's a failing formula, but that's me. Um, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear you say you thought the Flash movie should have been simpler. It shouldn't have been so big.
Yeah.
I could have lead.
Yeah, and they could have make it, the Flashpoint storyline, make it like that, like in the comics. You see, Bruce Wayne's father and all.
What just happened? Okay, he just got knocked off a bit. Oh, sorry. I got you.
Hello, can you see me?
Yeah, you just got knocked off for a second.
Yeah, they should do it like the Flashpoint paradox storyline. They should do it like that. It would have been a lot better.
Well, that would have been intense.
Yeah, you see,
There's a lot of killing and stuff.
Dean
That was
Morgan
very intense.
as what's his name? Thomas Wayne's Batman. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely Snyderverse.
Yeah.
There's lots of killing and stuff in that one.
They don't want to do it like that.
That would be edgy. That would be edgy.
I want to charge my phone here.
Yeah, no
My
problem.
phone wants to charge.
No problem. What I wanted to say is that, so let me list a couple other Snyderverse movies that were canceled. So there was the Air Cut wasn't canceled, but the Air Cut is one of them. Then we have the Batfleck movie. We have the Cyborg movie that is no longer in existence, and I would die to see a Cyborg movie because I know it's going to be great. I've read Cyborg, the most recent, well, not the most recent Cyborg comics, but some of the, New 52 Cyborg comics. And boy, Cyborg, such a fantastic character and terrific character. And so I would love to see a Cyborg movie. And Cyborg was supposed to be in The Flash. Andy Muschietti's movie, which, by the way, Andy Muschietti didn't get to do the movie he wanted to do because he was saying that Michael Keaton's Batman actually stopped being Batman because he killed someone, and nowhere in the movie we saw anything like that, which tells me the studio interfered with his movie. A lot of directors, as I've been saying over and over again, a lot of directors, their movies are being interfered with by Warner Brothers. So it's sad. It's very sad. And I think that's why the movies flopped. I think if the director of BOP, Birds of Prey, was allowed to do what she wanted to do, I think the movie would have done well. I think Wonder Woman 84 would have done well if Patty Jenkins got to do exactly what she wanted to do. I think she was still fighting down the studio a lot. James Gunn did what James Gunn wanted to do, and his movie flopped. It's just what it is.
He killed DC thing.
Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I know they fought hard to get their movie out, and I feel sorry for him in that respect. But I think he should have fought harder to get that movie linked to the Snyderverse. I don't know if it was his ego or if it was the people behind him, because Walter Amato was an executive producer. Jeff Johns was a writer.
Yeah, The Rock's ego gets. He should have let it connected to Shazam, to the Shazam movie. That's the thing.
Yeah, connected to Shazam, and Shazam connect to the Snyderverse. If they had only done that, they would have had to real fight the studio for that. But it would have been a war.
Henry Cavill, they show at the end at the school, they show the headless Henry Cavill. Not Henry Cavill, they show a headless Superman.
Yeah, I know. Again, they were trying to get Henry Cavill, but they didn't get him. They're trying to get Gal Gadot, and they didn't get her really. But what's that? They had a body double for Gal Gadot. They had a body double for Henry Cavill. And then CG to get Gal's face. But what I would say is that, and I feel sorry about this, but because David Sandberg is a really, really good guy. And I want to support all his movies because I think he's a really nice person, and he really tried to do justice to Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, and then he tried to pulling the Snyder, Zack Snyder Justice League. It's that, if it wasn't for Zachary Levi, I'm sure a lot of us would have gone and support Shazam too. Zachary Levi just kept on running his mouth and saying a lot of
Yeah,
stupid things, and that
because
hurt the movie.
they had a big fall note on Twitter. After Shazam failed, they had a big fall note with fans on the Twitter. Rachel Ziegler and Zachary Levi and David Sandberg.
Yeah,
Big fall note they have on Twitter. But I blame James Gunn for the failure of Shazam. I blame James Gunn for the whole thing. I blame him and Zaslav for the whole thing. With their
I also blame I also blame them for the terrible timing, announcing James Gunn
yeah,
while
and
Black Adam
announcing
was playing in
redo.
cinema. So that was not
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Because it
and
hurt a
announcing
lot
redo.
of DC fans. A lot of DC fans was like, "What?
Yeah,
Couldn't
they
believe
upset.
it."
They turned away the fans. I keep telling people, James Gunn turns away fans. But you have some idiots who like bandwagonists and cheap. Oh my God, James Gunn. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
but
So it's
it may
kind of
not get off.
sad.
It may not get off the ground because the strike is not going to resolve anytime soon. The
Right.
strike stalls everything right now.
Yeah.
So it's practically they're dead in the water. That's how I see it.
Yeah. It's true. But
Yeah,
going back to it, so Cyborg movie, I would love to see a Cyborg movie.
yeah,
And I think it's one of the best. The other movie that was canceled in terms of
yeah.
Snyderverse
But
is the
Cyborg
Green.
will have heroes appear in it as well with Flash, and the Justice League would appear in the movie as alongside him as well. So it would have been good.
Possible.
Yeah,
Possible.
yeah,
The other one is the Green Lantern Corps that was supposed to be the
yeah,
last scheduled. This would have been okay. So they had Justice League 1 and 2, but now it's 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah,
after Justice League 3, we should be introduced to the Green Lantern Corps because we'll see a lot of Green
yeah,
Lanterns in
yeah,
Zack Snyder Justice. Which reminds me, we didn't see Zack Snyder Justice League in theaters, right?
yeah.
So I, as someone requested on Twitter, why don't we have the green emerald version of Zack Snyder's Justice League? That is Zack Snyder's Justice League with the Green Lanterns at the end of the movie.
Wayne T. Carr was
Yes,
Green Lantern, John Stewart. Yeah,
John Stewart and Kilowog at the
yeah,
end, along with Martian Manhunter. So that's something I don't know if it's possible because we have a strike going on. So I don't know if they could add that
yeah.
extra, but that would be
That
great.
went
And I
happen.
would love. I know we can't get the haircut this year because David Ayer still has to do some work, and that will
Yeah,
require people being hired and stuff. And of
yeah.
course, with the
The
strike, that
strike.
ain't gonna happen,
Yeah,
right? So probably sometime next year we could see the haircut. But what we could see this year, I mean, this is something that could easily happen, is having
oh,
Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters this year because Zach don't have to do nothing and just take the movie. It's already in IMAX. It's been shown in
but
IMAX and everything. You can just put it
yeah, but
out there.
they're not going to do that because of their egos towards Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is doing
Yeah,
Rebel Moon now. They're not going to do that because of their bad egos, especially James
yeah,
Gunn. And
yes, exactly.
their egos
But
are
the thing
very
about
bad.
it,
Their egos kill DC films. Yeah,
Abdi and DeLuca was able to get the showing of all three movies in theaters in a
yeah,
limited way
yeah,
in California
yeah,
um, this year. This year that
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if that could happen this year, why can't it not go into cinemas this year? Something has to be worked out because
yeah,
right now DC is flopping left, right, and center, and there's no more
yes,
DC movies. No DC movies I think are going to make money this year. So
yeah,
why not instead? Because you have all these DC movies coming out like a factory. They're coming out regularly now. We had how many of them came out this year so far? We
two,
had two and two more. So it's 4 movies in 1 year, which is
yeah,
very good that they're putting out so many movies. But
yeah,
the problem is they're all flopping.
yeah, and they might delay Aquaman, and Aquaman is in trouble. So, and if they delay Aquaman, James Wan is going to sue them. James Wan is going to sue them because he's very upset right now, which is
He
sad.
should be. He should be
Yeah,
because they're taking the directors and they're just treating them
yeah,
any old how.
they should just leave these movies alone. Don't delete any of the scene, and they would make money right now. They would make money. You say you're
The
rebooting,
problem
leave it
is, from
alone.
what I heard, Aquaman was going to lead to the Snyderverse or give a possibility of leading to the Snyderverse. And James
Yeah,
Wan didn't want that. James Gunn didn't
James
want
Gunn
that to
didn't want
happen.
that. Yeah, James
So
Gunn, and
yeah,
he cuts out Michael Keaton scenes and Ben Affleck scenes out of Aquaman
yes,
and doing this and
yes,
doing that. No, it's not going to work. Sorry, it's
yeah.
they should keep
And he
the
did tamper
Keaton
with the
scene.
Flash ending. He tampered with the
Yes,
Flash ending.
yes, that's what I'm
That's
saying. They
why we got
tamper with the Flash.
yeah,
Yes, because as I said in my earlier show with you, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot were there. Jason Momoa
yes.
were there. Ben Affleck was there. Ben Affleck was
The
there.
whole Justice League was there. The whole
Yeah,
Justice League was there in the
they
end.
were
Yeah.
there. So to keep the
In
scenes in
fact,
there. And he was
Ben
standing right
Affleck.
beside Sasha Kaye. At the end, you see Michael Keaton at the end, and when Bruce Wayne goes to the apartment, when Barry Allen went, Ben Affleck was talking to him through letters, so you have to find us. Because Ben Affleck is trapped in
Yes,
another dimension. So you
yes,
have to find us. You should keep those scenes. No, he
yeah.
cut them out because he's breaking from he lets his ego get twisted because he don't want to have nothing to do with Snyderverse. But it turns out fans by doing that, they lose millions and millions of dollars doing that. So they're not smart. They
And
will be making
absolutely
money
not.
now. They're making millions right now if they do that. So they are making
Yes.
money with this Barbie and open air. But they are losing money right now. They are joking
Open,
themselves.
open, Oppenheimer is not a DC. It's not a
Yeah, no, not
Warner
at this.
Brothers
No,
production. It's not a
we
Warner
know
Brothers
that.
production.
But I know that. We
Right.
know that. But it's a strategy thing because they want Barbie to make money. That's why they release the two movies at the same time. If they didn't
Yeah.
do that,
So
Barbie wouldn't make any money. If they didn't do that, Barbie wouldn't make any money right now. But it's a strategy
that's
thing.
correct.
And Barbie is a mediocre movie. It's a man-hating movie. Barbie
Yes. You
I'm
saw
not
it?
watching Barbie. No, I didn't.
I
I
didn't
know.
watch it
I
either.
have no interest. No, I have no interest in Barbie.
And
But people
also,
tell
you
me,
know what's the other thing? They coupled it with Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer so
yes,
that they would get be successful. That's what they're writing off for
yeah,
Oppenheimer. Yeah.
yeah. That's why it makes money. If it didn't ever do that, it wouldn't make any money. But that's
Right.
why it making money right now. But people fail to see that.
But
Like people,
I feel it's still going to flop. You know why? When people
yeah,
see the movie and what it is, there's not going to be good word of mouth, and they're just going to just like, nah, I don't want
yeah. And it's
to. So
already at
I
over
still think,
300 million
huh?
worldwide. Yeah, it's already at 300 million, over 300 million world because of Oppenheimer. Because of
300 million
Oppenheimer,
already?
yeah, it's done over 300 million already because of the strategy they use. Because it released the same
Mm,
time with Oppenheimer. That's the thing. If they never do that, it wouldn't make any money. It's just a strategy thing. You know what I mean?
mm.
But when a movie makes money, it doesn't mean that it's good. You have some mediocre movie that grows over a billion. The movie is not good. It doesn't necessarily mean the movie have to be good. You know what I mean? You have crap
So
movie make over a billion.
they basically break even with the movie already.
Yeah. Because of the strategy. You understand? But it's not good.
They have to
It's
make
not good.
400 million to break even. It's 2.5 by the
Yeah,
budget.
yeah.
So we'll see.
To me, Mission Impossible they reckon is a way better movie than it. But Mission Impossible movie is not make it's at 370 over 370 million now. But it still need to make 900 million to break even. Whether it break even or not, Tom Cruise is just fine. Tom Cruise is okay. Mission Impossible
Mm,
did reckon part is coming out next year, so he's fine.
mm.
Yeah,
Well, what I do know is what we just spoke about are the canceled Snyderverse movies, but then you have possible spin-off Snyderverse movies. So we can start
yeah,
from Man of Steel, for example. In Man of
yeah,
Steel, you have this is a movie everybody wants to see, Booster Gold, because Booster Gold's world is seen inside of uh, Metropolis.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
Booster Gold is a possible spin-off from Zack Snyder's Justice from Man of Steel,
Man
as
of
well
Steel.
as Supergirl. His Supergirl is also a
Yeah,
spin-off from Man of Steel. And
Man
of
of
course he
Steel.
talked
Yeah,
about how Supergirl's a Kryptonian and possibly Zeus and uh, some of the old gods were possibly a certain tribe, a giant tribe on Krypton. So this is a
okay.
possibility of that as well.
Who
Um,
knows?
who knows? But what do you think about that? Zack Snyder's version of Supergirl, or you think you should stick with Sasha Calle now
Well, it all
and give her a
depends.
back and give her a backstory?
It all depends. But all right, why not? The plan was to have Man of Steel 2 with Sasha Calle and Henry Cavill. That was the plan. And
Right?
James Gunn canceled that. James Gunn put a stop to it.
Okay.
Why not do that? Why not have Sasha Kaye in Man of Steel 2?
Okay.
Something Man of Steel 2, something nice, unique and special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
And give her a
obviously,
blonde ear. Give her a blonde
if,
ear. You know,
because if it, like you said, if Superman is incapacitated by kryptonite, right,
yeah.
and Brainiac's coming at him, he'll need some help. So
Yes,
we
and
got
they
to
would
see
just fight
Enter
Brainiac. Yeah,
Supergirl.
yeah,
Enter
that was the
Supergirl.
plan.
Yeah.
Have Supergirl Sasha Kaye fight Brainiac. But James Gunn put a stop to it like an idiot. They would, if, I better tell you something. If a new Superman movie is made right now with Henry Cavill, that would probably gross out $3 to $4 billion. People go
For
to the
sure.
theater to see Henry Cavill.
Because of
But they
the
don't see it
demand.
like that.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they would be in better position. They would be billions and billions of dollars richer. But they're
Yeah.
not
Sure.
smart. All the money
No,
that
they're
they
not.
lost, they make back those money if they release a new Superman movie right now with Henry Cavill. But
And the
these
problem
idiots
with it
don't think
is
like that.
introducing a new Superman when you have a Superman that's still alive and has
Yeah.
done great things. It's almost like you're cutting off your foot because now people
Yes.
have to get reacquainted with this Superman, and then the
Yeah.
tone you might have, people may not like that tone. So you're taking
Yeah.
a big risk by trying to reinvent the wheel instead of having the
Yeah.
old Superman pass the torch to
Yes.
a new Superman. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
You know what
So
I mean?
I don't know what they were thinking, but it is what it is.
But yeah,
Um,
they're going to making a big mistake. The Superman should not be recast. That's how I see. They should not be. They should not recast Henry
I
Cavill.
think so too, but
Yeah.
I don't know what these people are thinking. So
We're not obsessed. They're saying that I'm an obsessive fan. I'm not obsessed with no Snyderverse. I'm not obsessed with anything. I think that
right,
they should do the right thing. They're not doing the right thing now. They're not doing the smart thing. They let their
right,
egos get to their heads, and that destroys them, which is sad.
right.
Yeah.
So we know for a fact that two spin-off movies that could come, and they kind of one of us kind of preempted us is a Supergirl with Superman movie or a Superman movie with Supergirl in there, and you could also have Booster Gold. I don't know if you know much about Booster Gold, but Booster
Booster
Gold
Gold, yeah,
is
no,
a sort of
Booster Gold.
comical character. It's kind of funny,
Yeah.
kind
He's
of
from
like
the future.
Shazam.
He's from the 21st century or 23rd century, from the
Right,
future, Booster Gold.
right.
He and Blue Beetle move get along well. The Blue Beetle moves well. That's the
Exactly.
Ted
So
Kent version
that's
of Blue
what I was
Beetle.
about to say. What I was about to say is the DCU was lined up for Booster Gold to interface with Blue Beetle, which would have been great. And
Yeah.
and also, you know, if we had established the Green Lanterns and John Stewart, then John Stewart could have interfaced, as we all know, with Shazam. Well, not John Stewart and Shazam. Well, yeah. Why not? Shazam.
John
Shazam is
Stewart
a
Hal
funny
Jordan.
character, and John
Yeah.
Stewart would be like the straight man. So you have the straight man and you have the funny man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
They work nicely with each other, and so it's kind of sad because we're getting all these characters now, and that's when they want to shut down.
Yeah.
They want to shut down the universe as we're getting these interesting characters coming
Strike.
out.
Massive
But
strike.
the reason is they don't have connectivity. They didn't connect to the Snyderverse. So you
Yeah.
start a whole universe without the Trinity in there, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. You see, Wonder Woman 3, they canceled Wonder Woman 3. You know what Patty
I
Jenkins should
saw
have
that.
done? Patty Jenkins should have had Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck in Wonder Woman 84. Like, the first part, you see the Hall of Justice. I see Wonder Woman and them talking, and then Wonder Woman tell Superman and Batman the story, and they lead up to Wonder Woman 84. Patty Jenkins it should have been made like that. It would have done a lot better. But no, they let their egos get to their heads. You know what I mean? They should have
Yeah.
Henry Cavill in there and Ben Affleck in there. People would do a lot better. If the pandemic do a lot for everything, but it would have done better if they do it like that. But no,
And the other
they let
thing
their
is,
egos.
the other thing
Yeah,
you just kind of correctly said was that um you know, the instead of Wonder Woman 84, you should have had the story was kind of okay, but it was really supposed to be, I believe, it's supposed to be Wonder Woman going back to Amazon, Themyscira, to meet the
yeah,
Amazons. But
yeah,
what James Gunn has done is he just cut out Wonder Woman completely, and he's just doing a movie about the Amazons, which I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's a spin-off movie as well. But what
yeah,
you should have done was include that in Wonder Woman, have the follow
yeah,
up. Because, and
yeah,
again, Zack Snyder's Justice League was showing you that Wonder Woman was longing and wondering what was going on in Themyscira, right? She
Yeah,
was just standing there watching over the sea. So that was
yeah,
the logical step was for Wonder Woman to go back to Themyscira or find a way to go back to Themyscira. Because even in Wonder
yeah,
Woman 84, she met an Amazonian, right? At the end of the
yeah.
movie.
At the end of the movie, no,
The
she never
lady
really
who was
meet her.
playing the lady
She
who
talked
was
about
playing,
her, Linda Carter. Linda Carter's character, they never really
yes,
meet, but she was
yes.
alive. She was alive on this earth. The
Right,
fact that she died, though, she was alive. Yeah,
right. And she was an
yeah,
Amazonian.
yeah,
So, that would have been interesting how that will all connect together. So the
yeah,
next logical step was for Wonder Woman to go back to Themyscira somehow, some way. I don't know how, but
yeah. But
so she could
to
become.
me, otherwise, Wonder Woman worked better when she's alongside Superman and Batman. She worked better when she's alongside our heroes.
But
To
isn't
me,
she supposed to become the head of the Amazons?
Wonder Woman, yes, yes, yes. But
Right. So she has to
she,
go back to
yeah,
Themyscira.
but when she go back there, she should take Superman and Batman with her, and the three of them go down there to help, ask them for help, and the three of them go down to Themyscira. That would be a lot better to me.
Okay.
She works better when she's alongside Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman, and it would a whole lot better if they were there.
Okay.
But they don't see it like that. They just tell me, oh, she'll be overshadowed by Superman and Batman. She's not going to be overshadowed by them because
Wonder Woman was Wonder
she's
Woman
not going to be
stole the show
overshadowed by
from
them.
her
Yeah,
debut in BVS. She been
yeah.
dominating the scene.
Right. And she's a
She,
team player. So she works better when she's with them. You know what I
right.
mean? She works better when she's with them. And if they do that, they would make money at the box office. They would make
Definitely.
billions of dollars. But they don't see it
Definitely.
that way. They're not smart.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either.
They're not smart. Because of their ego, they let their egos get to their James Gunn let his ego get. They're all a bunch of assholes and idiots. You know what I mean? They're a bunch of idiots and clowns. I'm not going to stop saying it. They're a bunch of clones.
Well,
They're a bunch
let's
of
go to
clones.
some more
All of them.
spin-off movies, right?
Yeah.
So after Man of Steel, we have BVS, and in BVS, there's a lot of spin-off movies you can get from BVS. Obviously, there's the Martian Manhunter
Yeah.
movie now that we know General Swanwick was Martian Manhunter, so you could have a whole
Yeah.
movie on how Martian Manhunter came to Earth and his history,
All of
because it's
that.
like a 5,000 plus year history he has with Earth, and
Yeah.
just knowing what happened in the Great War and all of that stuff and how he knows about all these things. And then you have
Yeah.
also a spin-off from BVS again, being uh again I say Metallo, but I don't know,
No matter
because
is
that
a
concept
villain.
was
Metal to be
cancelled.
in Man of Steel, in the Man of Steel movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
But they,
okay, so it could be
yeah.
there. And then we have also another spin-off which is with Doomsday. Remember Doomsday? Even though he's dead, just like how
Yeah.
they brought back Superman, they could
Yeah.
bring back him,
Yeah.
right?
They had that comic Superman number 105. That's in 2002, where Lex Luthor becomes president. They should do that in live action.
Yeah,
He fought
because
Doomsday in front of the White House, and he single-handedly defeats Doomsday. He was in a kind of black dark color suit, and
which
he single-handedly.
reminds me, Lex Luthor also has a battle suit, and we saw it in
Yeah.
Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have to
Lex
see Lex
Luthor. Yeah.
Luthor in that.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they
I
should
hope
have that in Superman number 175. That's in 2002. He single-handedly defeats Doomsday in front of the White House. They should do that in
wow,
live action with Henry Cavill. That would look awesome. When Lex Luthor
that'd be
becomes
crazy.
president of the United States,
That
that would
would
be
be
a
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be crazy.
yeah,
And then so that's in BVS, and this is there another thing in BVS? I saw that was a spin-off, possible spin-off. Um, I can't remember. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. How could I forget this? But I think this is more for Green Lanterns.
yeah.
Um, Spectre, and also forget what she is. The Major Carol Farris. She's supposed to be
Paris from Green Lantern.
yes,
She's
she's
Green Lantern. Hal Jordan's love interest. At
right.
one time, she became Star Sapphire. She became Star Sapphire at
Star
one point.
Sapphire, right? Yeah, 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 yeah,
She's
yeah.
on the
Star
Legion of
Sapphire's in
Doom.
there.
Yeah, Star
Yep. So
Sapphire. Yeah, at one
you have
point
Star
she
Sapphire
became.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you also have I think it's not Silk Spectre. As Watchmen. I'm not talking about Spectre. I think it's just Spectre. Spectre was
Spectre is a
actually in
godlike being. Spectre. Yeah, Spectre. Spectre. He
Spectre
he
was
he.
actually in I think he was in Zack
Nah,
Snyder's
in the
Justice League,
Crisis.
or he was in BVS. I can't remember which one. But the
No,
character
Spectre
who
was in the
played,
Crisis. The Spectre was in the Arrowverse, in the Crisis Arrowverse. He merged
no,
with
but he was
Oliver
in
Queen.
one of the. He actually was a character. You know who he was? Oh no, it was Inspector. The guy who was the detective with uh, the guy who was talking to Commissioner Gordon,
Oh,
detective, whatever his name is, Inspector. He's Spectre, the black
oh,
fella, the black man. He's Spectre. You go check it out in Zack Snyder Justice League. He's Spectre. He'll become Spectre. His name, I can't remember his name right now, but he'll become
eh?
Spectre. Yeah.
You were talking to Commissioner Gordon, he becomes Spectre. The black guy, he becomes
Yes,
Spectre.
the black guy. Yep,
Oh,
yep, yep, yep.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah. So
okay. I know
he's
Spectre was
there.
Jim Corrigan. Spectre was a guy named Jim Corrigan becomes Spectre. A guy
That's
named
him.
Jim Corrigan.
That's him. That's his name
That is Jim
in Zack
Corrigan.
Snyder. Yes.
The black guy, Jim
Yes.
Corrigan. Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. I didn't know.
He's a,
Okay.
he was a detective in Zack Snyder Justice League. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
him, and then what else? Let me see. So there's a then you can have. I'm not saying you have
He was
Spectre as
also
a
in
movie.
Justice League theatrical too as well. He wasn't in Justice League theatrical too as well. Talking to Commissioner Gordon in Justice League theatrical.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. So there you go. So all I'm saying is that you have all of these characters there that are they're not yet as yet what they will become, but
Yeah.
they're there, sitting down there. So that's why I say, you know, it's great.
They have the tools to defeat MCU, rival MCU, and they waste it. They waste all the tools. You realize
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Joking, man. They're joking themselves.
And
They
the
could
thing was,
rival MCU.
if you look at what Zack Snyder is doing, he's setting up a universe. He's literally setting
Yes.
it up. But they just wouldn't follow through with it. They decided they're going to do their own thing, and we're not going to
Yeah.
follow continuity. And they messed up like Wonder Woman's ending was supposed to be different. It was supposed to
Yeah.
have actually the mother box. It was supposed to end where Justice League began with the Amazons in the temple. It
Yeah.
was supposed to end with the Amazons in the temple and the mother box shaking. That's how Wonder Woman was supposed to end. And Patty
Yeah.
Jenkins, she didn't want this big ending with Ares like that, and the design for Ares was changed as well. Huh? But it wasn't supposed to be like how it ended up being. So there's all of that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what it is. You understand? They joke it
Yeah.
out, man. They joke it out.
So
It's something.
and then
Yeah.
in Wonder Woman, of course, the spin-off could be Black Hawks, the Black Hawks.
Black Hawks, they were from the 1940s, I believe. Black Hawks.
Right.
They in a blue uniform with the hawk and
I
the
think
Black Hawks. Yeah.
I think Steven Spielberg was supposed to do Black Hawks,
Yeah, it
and
was supposed
part
to
of the
be.
members of the Black Hawks was actually in Wonder Woman
Okay.
2017.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the members was part of her little team, and then in addition to that, now you have, well, we never saw David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, so until David Ayer comes through. But what we do know is in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, Steppenwolf was actually supposed to come down to Earth.
Yeah.
And the little bug-eyed things was really supposed to be parademons. So there was
Yeah.
actually Suicide Squad was supposed to be fighting parademons and Steppenwolf when he came to Earth. And I don't know how it was supposed to end, but clearly Steppenwolf could still be there. So the Suicide Squad probably was the first set of people to actually see Steppenwolf and the parademons before Justice League came around and Batman knew about them. So that was what they were supposed to be the first people to interface them. I don't know how. I'm sorry, it was supposed to fully end, but Steppenwolf was actually supposed to be in that haircut.
But they changed it.
I don't know if they changed it. Yeah, I don't know if they changed it. So
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
changed it, yeah. But all in all, I love Suicide Squad theatrical, all in all. So that's just how it is. And it made money. It made more money than James going to Suicide Squad. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do want to see the Ayer cut. I want to see what David Ayer actually had in mind. I also want to know. I also want to see a Furies movie. Either now I know Justice League 2 will have all the backstory and the Furies and the fight between the gods and
New
or
Gods.
what else happening on Apocalypse and what's happening on
Yeah,
New Genesis, and we're supposed to get all of that in Justice League too, eh? So
yeah,
it's real thing going on.
Stephen Wolf. What turned Stephen Wolf this way? Stephen Wolf wanted to find his redemption. Poor Stephen Wolf, wanted to help save his mother.
Right. So
He wanted to
there's
see what
actually
happened. Yeah, with
no,
with
he
with,
didn't
with
want to
him
save his
and
mother. He
daughter.
wanted to go back home.
Yeah, he wanted to
And
go back
remember,
home.
Steppenwolf was part of a coup against Darkseid.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah,
he was used and he didn't know, and then he turned around and killed everybody who was trying to go against Darkseid. So he get
yeah,
banished,
yeah,
and he owed Darkseid I think 50,000 worlds or something like that.
yeah.
But
Poor Stephen.
when he found the anti-life equation, Darkseid was
Yeah,
like, okay, bring the anti-life equation, activate it and everything, scorch the world, and I will come down for my great prize, and I'll partner, and he'll go back to Apocalypse. So
Apocalypse. Yeah.
Steppenwolf was like, "What? You'll come down to Earth?" You remember when he almost activated the box? Steppenwolf said, "He's here."
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
And
that Darkseid come
sadly,
to
sadly got his head cut off. Sadly got his head cut
yeah,
off by
and
Wonder Woman. Poor
Darkseid
Stephen Wolf.
and Darkseid crush your head afterwards. That's
Yeah.
how true Darkseid was.
And you see them
Oh, it looked like he just dropped off. It's froze up, froze up. Just now the internet will come back. Yes, people. So these are some of the movies that are out there. Also, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, of course, a spin-off movie that you can look forward to is The Atom. Leroy Kong. Am I even Leroy? Yeah, he just froze up. Am I still working? Yeah, I'm still working. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk while Leroy Kong. You know what I could do? All right, I'll remove him from the stream and he'll come back in. Leroy, are you there? Oh man, it still fall off. Okay, Leroy will come back in soon. So we're an hour and 7 minutes in. So another possible Snyderverse spinoff, and it was actually a real reality that got canceled, was the Atom movie, which Zack Snyder was actually pitching to Warner Brothers, and I would love to see that. Ryan Choi as the Atom. So there's all of those possible spin-off movies. We just talked about New Gods, not so much. I think that didn't need a separate movie for that because I think Justice League Part 2 would cover the New Gods and our whole story behind them. So yeah. Let's go to one more thing here. Let me just get Leroy back in here. All right, he should be coming up right now.
Hello? Sorry about that.
Right.
Looked like I was cut off.
Yeah, the internet.
My internet
cut.
but yeah. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so I just talked about one more spin-off movie that I saw.
Can you hear me?
There's a bunch more. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear. You can hear me?
All right.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Right. So I was just talking about some other spin-off movies. So the Atom movie with Ryan Choi was supposed to come up. Zack Snyder just was supposed to introduce that. There was a bunch of other movies like again, the newspaper talking about the architect that needed to be found. That there was a spin-off movie that could come up with that because that was an actual DC character actually they were referring to and hinting to. And there's a bunch of others, but I'm going to leave those alone for now. So how do we as fans handle false propaganda? Like recently, we saw that the Barbie movie was throwing shots at us, calling Zack Snyder a toxic patriarch.
Yeah.
And we as fans were male toxic people. And actually, even Greta said that, she believes we are toxic and we are bad and blah, 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 blah. All because we are not, whether you're a Snyder fan or not, we are not buying their Kool-Aid. We're not going and seeing their movies. So they're angry and they're calling us toxic, which we are not. We're not toxic.
I'm not toxic. I know I'm not toxic. So I don't give a damn.
So why label us that? It's because they can't control us and they can't get us to go and see their movies. So they call us toxic.
That's the
But
thing.
at the end of the day, what I would say is that we as fans to handle false propaganda, we need to do this. And I would suggest to see you as well, Leroy, for people who keep on saying lies, telling lies about you. One,
Yeah.
you just simply lay out the facts and then you go your way. You lay out the facts and you show. So, for example, recently a guy came and said, "Oh, Zack Snyder destroyed the DCEU," and I
No.
said, "Well, here's the facts. The DCEU was doing fantastically well while Zack Snyder was there and
Yes.
actually heading the movies. He was coordinating the movies. Even when he lost control of certain movies like Suicide Squad and he lost control over Aquaman, the universe was doing exceptionally well. It's when he left
Yes.
around Justice League 2017 that the universe started doing poorly. And point number two, the movies that are being made now are nothing like what Zack Snyder makes, and nothing like
Yes.
his movies in the beginning. So how can you say
Right.
he's causing the universe to flop when the movies that are
No.
coming out now are nothing like what he does?
Yes. The first six DCU movies earn way more money than the first six MCU movies. And after Aquaman and
Right,
Shazam, they go right down. When Zack Snyder fully left, it goes right down.
right, exactly.
And Black
All right,
Adam was
and
the only movie that made the highest more money than all the other movies.
exactly,
But they
and
go right
also a
down.
very exactly. And another point is when they decided to do standalone movies, so they refused to use the Trinity in their movies,
Yeah,
right? The movies didn't do
big
well.
mistake.
The movie that did better than most of them was Shazam, the very first Shazam, and Black Adam. And
Black
those
Adam.
made more than the other two movies because they had Superman in them.
Yeah, Black Adam made more money than Shazam, the first Shazam movie.
Yeah.
But none of them don't even go. None of them don't even earn 400 million. They don't even earn 400 million. You just to show that
And then,
Walter Ahmad and these idiots fail. They fail. They
yes,
fail.
I
Fail.
agree.
Fail.
And right now,
And
James Gunn is
James Gunn is going to
failing.
fail as well.
And he's failing right now. Yeah.
He's
And the
failing
other
right. And
point
it's
I want to
already
make
failed.
is they chose, it's the studio chose, not Zack Snyder. They
Yeah.
chose to keep Justice League 2017 as canon, right? Instead
Right.
of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So because of
Right.
that, none of the movies that came after was using Zack Snyder's Justice League as a reference.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay, Shazam 2 was trying to kind of, in the advertising at least, refer to Zack Snyder. But it
Yeah.
was a standalone movie with Wonder Woman in it.
Yeah.
There was nothing really mention of Justice League and Zack Snyder just at that. So they never used Zack Snyder's Snyderverse stuff. So if you're not even using his stuff, right? You say he's bad for
Yeah.
DCEU. You get rid of him. You let him do finish off his movie that was the one that he was supposed to do. That movie was getting real buzz. That movie
Yeah.
increased their stock all kind of, but at the end of the day, it didn't use the movie in the universe. So that's the Elseworld thing, right?
Yeah.
How you can blame Zack Snyder for the movie swapping now? Because the studio has nothing to do with him. They said, we're not using your movie. You can make it, but we're not using it. Then they totally separated themselves from him from 2017, and they
Yeah.
went different in tone. They went different in how they made their movies and everything.
Yeah.
So how you can blame him for what is happening now? They literally severed themselves from him. So
I
that's
blame
how I
these
mean by.
clowns. I blame these clowns. All these clowns. I blame them. So sorry.
So
If
what I'm
you're
saying
long.
is, and to be fair, this is what a certain set of fans were saying. They were saying Zack Snyder's hurting it. So the studio said, "Oh, really, really? Okay, we will move completely away from Zack Snyder and we'll do what you want. What kind of Superman you want? What kind of movies you want? You don't the superheroes mustn't take themselves too seriously? No problem. Look in
Yeah.
here."
Yeah.
Right? They gave these people exactly what they wanted, and the movies did not do well.
Right.
Yeah, these are facts. These are not.
And
This is not fiction.
if you try to please ungrateful people, it's going to backfire on you. I learned that growing up. Never you
Yes,
try to please ungrateful people. I tried pleasing ungrateful people and it backfire on me. It going to
that's right.
backfire on them.
That's right.
There are a lot of
So
ungrateful people out there now.
exactly, I
Yeah.
agree. So my point is, when somebody starts to give you false information, you check them and you keep it moving. And that's what I
Yeah.
have been doing, and that's what I continue to do. Right now, the DCU is flopping. I know why.
Yes.
Just stick with what you
You and
had.
I know why. We can't do anything about it. Nothing we and you can do about it. We are just fans. It's nothing we
Yeah,
can do about it. But it's
that's right.
their loss. And if they're going to
Yes,
lose, they're going to have to sell their product to even Universal because Zaslav is they are losing right now. They are
yes. Looks
losing.
like they might make money with
With the Barbie Mania, with the Barbie Mania, which is a
they might
tragedy. But they are
they might.
losing apart from that. They are losing DC. They should just sell off DC, get something somewhere one better who understand the property more
I
and they will
agree.
be okay. Yeah.
I agree because right now they don't know what they're doing,
They don't
and
know what
the
they are
guy
doing.
who's in charge doesn't know what he's doing either. As
No.
Chuck Dixon said, this guy don't know his audience,
He doesn't
and
know
it's
what
true.
he's doing. It's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
it's true. So how we handle false propaganda? One is by telling people the truth, checking them on it, and that's why I even have this stream right now, because this stream is to let people know what the Snyderverse was offering, what you could have looked forward to, what could have gotten you excited, and
Yeah,
so on. Not to mention Justice League 2 and 3, and then Final Crisis looked like it was going to come about. So,
yeah,
what else can we do to deal with people, especially like movies that are making fun and pot shutting us and all of this stuff? What can we do? The other thing we can do is we can show people what our passion is. And so, keep the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse going. Never stop using that hashtag. And also show snippets of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Show snippets of BVS, Wonder Woman 2017.
yeah,
All the successful Snyder
yeah,
movies. You keep on sharing bits and pieces of those movies. There's guys on Twitter who have these nice little GIFs. They're short, like about 2-3 seconds, but it's
yeah,
so pretty. It's so nice. Like the Flash movie just flopped. So what I do on Twitter is I shared a piece of Flash turning back time so that
yeah,
the DC brand could pick back up, because Zack Snyder really added value to the DC brand. So if we keep on
yeah,
pushing those images, those positive images, it kind
yeah,
of reverses and kind of offsets the negative images of DC now,
yeah.
and
But
can boost people's morale as well.
yeah, but to me, in my opinion, despite all the negativity, The Flash is my best movie of 2023 because I'm a DC fan. It's my best
Right,
movie of 2023. I don't give a damn what anybody want to say. They are saying that I'm obsessed with Zack Snyder. I'm not obsessed with anything. I'm a true fan.
right,
But many of these idiots are fake. They're hypocrites and they are fake posers. A lot of these.
right,
The hypocrisy against Zack Snyder. Many of these fans. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm a
right.
true DC fan, but the hypocrisy against Zack Snyder. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
And the fan
exactly.
base of the day are divided right now. They are going to be more and more divided right now as how we speak. And
Right,
they are what James Gunn is doing is dividing the fans. He's not putting the fans together. He's dividing fans more and more. That's what the Anzaz love doing. And he's showing his middle finger to us true fans. That's what he's doing. I tell a man that he doesn't agree with me because he's a James Gunn cock. So I don't give a damn. You know what I mean?
all right. But my point is this, right? My point is that for the DC brand to at least do well, because nobody's proud of the DC brand right now.
Right.
The most thing you can salvage right now is the animated movies, right? And animated
Yeah.
series. But in terms of live action right now, they got rid of the CW. They got rid of anything else that could be around. So it's kind of
Yeah.
hard now to find things with DC, and it's so sad because
Yeah.
DC is a tremendously rich brand, which has so much it can offer,
Yeah.
and for some reason, executives can't keep their paws off of creatives' work. And so,
Yeah.
because the creators are now kind of oppressed, and the executives keep on making them change things, the DC brand is not doing well. It's not doing
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. One more season of Superman Law is going to occur, but it's going to be delayed back to the strike. What they're going to go for 10 episodes. One more season, 10
Oh,
episodes.
they're
Superman
doing
and
one
Law.
more season? Okay, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
they're going to do one more season. Yeah, yeah.
At least
And
they're letting something positive stay.
he was fighting Doomsday at the finale, the
Yes, at
season
the end.
finale. Yeah,
It was a bizarro doomsday.
Doomsday, the
Doomsday that
Bizarro
came out of
Doomsday.
Bizarro. Yeah.
Doomsday, they turned him into Doomsday. Yeah, Lex Luthor. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
I mean, I just want to say that I think you're absolutely right. I think they're the wrong people are in charge of DC right now.
yeah,
David Zaslav and not David Zaslav, Abdi and DeLuca trying to do
James
the
Gunn.
best.
Yeah,
Abdi and DeLuca trying their best to do what they can.
yeah.
At least they're gonna win with Barbie. It looks like they got a win. Was it this year with Creed? I think Creed also did well this year. That was
Creed
also a
3,
DC
Creed
film.
3. Yeah,
Yeah, Creed 3. They did very
yeah.
phenomenally well. Barbie seems to be doing well, so I don't really like that movie,
Because of
but
the strategy. Yeah.
nonetheless.
But I'm not watching Barbie. Sorry, I'm not watching. It's
Oh
the
no,
most
I ain't
women watch
watching
this
Barbie.
movie.
You can
But
forget about that.
because they join with Oppenheimer, that's why I do well. It's a strategy thing because they're doing with Oppenheimer and Nolan support the movie. That's why I do
Mhm.
well. But it's a crap
Oh,
movie.
so Nolan supported Barbie.
Yeah, there's a strategy thing, because they release it. Oh, it's a joint thing, and that's why I
Right.
they're doing well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Oppenheimer is something I want to go see for sure.
Yeah.
But the
Go see
Barbie
it,
thing,
enjoy. Yeah. I'm not
I'm not
interested in
into the
no
Barbie.
Barbie. Not
No,
interested.
I mean,
Sorry, not interested. Yeah,
especially the story. When I read up what the story is, I was like, nah.
yeah.
That,
So that is nothing you and I can do. Most of these movies that gross over $1 billion, Zack Snyder, Justice League, and The Flash are way better than those movies. Most movies that are mediocre. When a movie
yeah,
grows $1 billion, doesn't mean that it's good. You know what I mean?
for
I don't
sure.
watch movies.
But what I'm
I don't watch
saying
movies
is,
with
so
money
one of the things I agree with you on, and one of the things I just want to say is touch on is as we're here. The Barbie movie is kind of toxic towards patriarchy. Like the
Yeah,
examples of patriarchy that they show in Barbie are negative, but
yeah,
patriarchy can be positive. And the other
yeah,
thing is, and this is where, see, all those Hollywood movies, they like, when it's woman power and feminists and blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
but blase, but usually they don't represent feminism. They represent bitter women. Let me explain what I mean.
yeah,
So when you look at Wonder Woman 2017, that is a feminist movie, if you don't know. But what's beautiful about it is it doesn't male bash.
no, it's
Wonder Woman
beautiful again.
2017 is very careful. Patty Jenkins was very careful to say that
And
she would,
Zack Snyder, not Patty
right, and
Jenkins,
Zack Snyder
Zack Snyder.
and Deborah Snyder, because Deborah Snyder, let's check
Right.
him. They all collaborated in such a way that to show what a matriarchy can be and what a
Yeah,
patriarchy can be. And if you look at Deborah and Zach, actually, they're a perfect example of that because
yeah,
Zach leads out in filmmaking. He's a director, whatever. But the
yeah,
person who manages Zack Snyder's career is Deborah Snyder. She's his
yeah,
boss.
yeah,
So look at that. So you have matriarchy right there, and you have patriarchy right there. Women can
right.
be great leaders, and men can be great leaders, and they can do it in tandem. And that's what
Yeah,
people don't understand. That, and Zach understood that very well, and he was talking about it. All the female characters in his movies. If you look at the female characters, they have strong supporting male characters. Or
yes,
if you see great male characters, you see strong supporting female characters because Zach
yes,
said and Deborah they're very big on balancing the male and female energies in their movies. So you get
yes,
a well-rounded, well-balanced movie. But what
yes,
Barbie is not a well-rounded, well-balanced movie. He's saying, oh, well, the only successful society is a matriarchal society. And men in that society just need to lay back and do nothing. That's what he's
yeah.
basically saying. And that is not the way how it goes. And I'm not saying that
Yeah.
Ken didn't
And
go through an
that's not
evolution.
how Barbie go. The Dalit Barbie, that's not Barbie. That's not what Barbie is about either. The dolly itself, Barbie doll, not like that.
Right. Right. But there you go. You see what I'm saying? Now, little girls play with Barbie, so little girls call the shots. So it's kind of matriarchal for real. But nonetheless, and Ken is there on the side. But what I'm saying, though, is that if you think about what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Barbie could never be a totally holistic movie if you're only illustrating patriarchy in a negative way. If you were giving both sides, the negative way and the positive way of patriarchy, now we could go somewhere.
yeah,
Because what people are forgetting is it's not just about little girls seeing these movies. It's about the children seeing these movies. Little boys need to know too. what their
Yeah.
role in society is, how to conduct themselves as proper men, and that is what's lacking in society today. They're pouring in a lot of information. They're pouring in a lot of they're pouring in a lot of hold on a second, Leroy. Gotcha. All right, good. Should be coming back in any minute now. They're pouring a lot of attention to the young women to help them catch up and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't abandon the young men, in
Yeah.
society, because they need to know how do they conduct themselves in society as well. It can't just be only the young women you're focusing on. And I think that's what's lacking,
Yeah.
which Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder seem to do so well. Even when you look at how they do it versus culture and ethnicity, how they had these great black
Yeah.
figures, like how Ray Fisher portrayed a great black figure, and not only a great black figure, but a great what you call them, like people in a wheelchair and
Hero.
stuff. What do you call them? Differently abled,
Um,
a differently abled individual.
disabled people. Oh,
Disabled people. That's correct. So Ray Fisher knocked
yeah.
out two minorities there: disabled people as well as black people. And I thought that was
Yeah.
just brilliant, and how how Zach will do it so that people don't look as they're oppressed or whatever, and you can identify with different people.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I think is lacking in Hollywood. They do not know how to convey their messages. They
Identity
try to
politics and
force down
those
your
crap.
throat. They try to
Yeah.
force down your throat their version of feminism, not
Identity
what
politics
feminism
and all those
is.
rubbish.
Their
Yeah.
version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
problem with it. And they think you have to hate men, or you have to beat up men, or men have to get kicked in the balls, or men
And
ain't good for
yeah.
nothing. That's the kind of images they portray on television. And
Yeah.
then
But
now we
I
have
can
these
tell you,
effeminate men
anybody want to
coming
see
out
this?
there.
Yeah, I'm a good man. And I don't give a damn what people want to say about me. I'm a good man. And you know me. You know me and I know you. You
Right,
know
right.
what I mean? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is, you see certain images now in society. You see images on the media. The media is portraying and pushing certain images,
Yeah.
and it's anything but what um, a man should function as. You know, like
Yeah.
a normal man should function as. They'll give you men who are effeminate. They'll give you men who are wicked, but they will not show you a man who is a model
Yeah.
citizen, a man who's doing the right thing. They do it as
Yeah.
a hero, but they don't do it as a mood. And I find that kind of fishy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Sad.
it is. So that's why I like Zack Snyder's stuff, because you know that even with this Rebel Moon, which is going to have a female lead in it,
Yeah.
though he's going to keep
So,
that female
so
lead
Batalo.
balanced. You know what
Yes,
I
because I
mean?
have a lot
Yeah.
of the supporting cast in there. Ray Fisher is there. Daman Hansu and some other great actors are in Rebel Moon. So it's
Yes,
going to be
you
good.
have a lady who's in it too, and
Yeah.
both her arms are amputated, but she has cybernetics, so she's a cyborg, and the
Yeah.
cybernetics able to hold hot melted metal. So the what you would call the lightsaber, it's not a
Yeah.
lightsaber, it's glowing metal she's fighting with. Just sick.
Oh,
It's another
yeah.
level. Yeah, I was reading up on Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon's sick, but gosh, I can't wait for it.
He's
It's gonna
going
be
to do.
good.
I think he's going to do a trilogy of them. He's going to do a
That'll be
trilogy or
crazy.
something like that.
That'd
Yeah.
be crazy. Plus his zombie movies, they're gonna be good. Because I like how he always has
Yeah.
a twist to his movies. Like, it's not just straightforward. You gotta think.
Yeah.
Because you make you think
Yeah.
all kind of thing. So I like Zack Snyder's movies for that. You could always look at it
Yeah.
again and be like, oh shucks, you mean that's what that movie said? I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking forward to this stuff, but I really do hope that at least before the end of the year we get something from him, I hope it's Zack Snyder's Justice League. We could get at least to see that in theaters. I don't know. We just have to keep on campaigning and pushing for that. But in the meantime, I also say anything else. No, I know you're not a SnyderVerse guy, but you're always you're a SnyderVerse guy, but you're not like fanatical, like you're pushing and campaigning for the SnyderVerse like that. You don't relentlessly do that, but it's always nice to always talk about his stuff and just let people know.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you have to exclusively talk about his stuff. You can talk about Todd Phillips stuff. You can talk about whoever, Schumacher, whoever, Tim Burton. I'm
yeah,
a Tim Burton fan as well. But I'm just saying that to keep it fresh in people's minds, so they always have a reference point and they know why we love these movies. I always believe
yeah,
it's more important to let people know why you like what you like than just tell people, oh, well, I like this, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
once people kind of have an idea and it's always fresh in their mind, it'll always help people to want to get to see it. I want to see the haircut so bad though. I want to see the
Yeah.
haircut. I want to see the
James
Snyder
Gunn
cut.
not went to allow that. James Gunn not went to allow that. James Gunn let his ego get to his head. He said he had nothing to do with Snyderverse. That's why he cut out, which is he's making a big mistake. And he's not going to save DC. I tell people that James Gunn is not going to save DC. He has killed DC. And he has failed DC.
Yeah,
Plain and
yes.
simple. James Gunn, you have failed DC. Plain and simple.
Yeah, he should be fired, to be
Yes.
honest.
All of these clowns should go. All of them should go.
Yeah.
They have killed DC.
Yeah, I mean DC's on an all-time low right now, so it's
Right.
kind of hard. Um, but anyway, this is basically what I wanted to talk about. Anything else you would like to say? Oh, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
The other thing, the last topic is what upcoming films are you excited for this year? What's a film you want to see or you want to refer us to seeing that we should look for this year? It doesn't have to be DC, and it
Um.
doesn't have to be live action. It could be
Well,
animated.
I am. I have no really no upcoming movies this year. I don't really have any movie this year. What to be honest, you know what I mean? Because the movie
Okay.
that I've seen already, I like what I've seen. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, all of them I've seen. Transformers, Flash, all of them. I'm not interested in
You
movies.
saw Transformers: Rise of the Beast?
Yes. I think
Oh,
it was
in cinema?
okay. Yes, Transformers, right? It's paid over 426 million. It's not making money like the Michael Bay
Nah,
movies nor Bumblebee.
it's
Yeah,
no.
yeah. But it's okay.
But
It's not
isn't
bad.
it? Weren't you kind of interested in seeing that GI Joe is going to link up in
Yeah,
the
at the end
Transformers
they talk
universe?
about G.I. Joe. Yes, at the end
Yeah,
the fellow is going to join G.I. Joe. Yeah,
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 that's kind of cool, man.
yeah.
Uh,
It's not bad.
I,
It's
I
not bad.
actually I actually liked that Transformers movie more than the Michael Bay movies because I could actually see what the Transformers doing and how they're fighting. With Michael Bay
Okay.
movies, it's just too much parts, so I couldn't really see. And then he would do it from a perspective that the Transformers so huge, and the humans so small.
Michael Bay movies are good still. I love the Michael Bay movies. Yeah, as a
I
fan, you
like the
know.
first two Transformers movies. I won't lie to you. With
Yeah,
Sean DeBuff, I
Shia
love
LaBeouf.
Sean DeBuff.
Yeah, Shia
Shia
LaBeouf.
DeBuff
Yeah,
is good. He's good. He's good.
yeah.
So I
He
really
was
like
he was in the
those two.
first three. He was in the first three. Shia LaBeouf was in the first three. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in the third one as well. Yeah, yeah.
but I couldn't really follow what the Transformers were doing. There's just too many things moving, and it just was
Yeah.
confusing to me. So I never really liked it. But this Transformers and even Bumblebee, those two movies, I could actually follow what the Transformers were doing, and it's sick,
Yeah,
sick what they were
yeah.
doing. Oh man, they're sick. I love the fighting. And even how Optimus Prime rip off
Yeah.
the guy head after you throw him into the they call it the beginning S Scourge, when you rip off Scourge head.
Scourge,
Yeah,
yes,
he
yeah.
impales Scourge and he rip off his head. I'm like, dang, dude, Transformers Rise of the Beast to me was lit, but it was lit.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
Peter Cullen voice Optimus Prime. Same Peter Cullen voice Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen.
Optimus Prime is
Yeah.
legendary, man.
But I think he's retired now. 'Cause he's around 81, 82 now. He's in his 80s
Uh,
now. Yeah.
uh,
Peter Cullen. Yeah.
but
He
man,
forgot
Optimus
he
Prime
forgot
is
the
bad, boy.
yeah,
And
but
even when
he forgot the Optimus Prime for me. Peter Cullen. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And this was sick. Bumblebee, Scourge had killed Bumblebee, and Bumblebee came back because of the
Yeah.
energizing
Yeah.
the plates. That was real sick.
Yeah. It was okay.
That was the best fights to me I've ever seen with the Transformers. And it was a
Okay.
whole set of Transformers fighting and things. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The end of the movie was really sick. But actually, they were fighting all the way through the movie, which was good too.
It's set in the 1990s though. It was set in the 1994.
Before Bing's movies, before the Michael Bay movies. But I find it was sick, dude. The first time I actually and then Air Razor, and then it was Optimus Primus.
Yeah.
So
Optimus Primus
sick.
by Ron Perlman. I think it's Ron Perlman twice that Optimus Primus. Ron Perlman. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. I was brutal. Them robots was killing like, I mean, they were brutal. Some brutal.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that white man was absolutely.
You have the cola, what?
Yeah, blue sinus. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's the sinus? No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie, Rise of the Beast actually was as hyped. You know, unfortunately.
I'm looking forward to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, which come up by next year with Open Strike. And I'm looking forward to the movies next year. Justice League, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and the Watchmen animated movie. That's next year.
Oh, there's going to be an animated Watchmen movie? Wow.
Yeah, next year. Coming out next year, yeah. And Justice League, Crisis on Infinite Earths, animated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon. I want to see that in the cinema, though. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I want to see Rebel Moon in the cinema.
Rebel Moon looks good, yeah.
It's looking like Star Wars, but it's looking more brutal, boy. It's looking real edgy.
Star Wars is ruined. Indiana Jones is ruined. Indiana Jones and Star Wars are now ruined by Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy should be fired.
Yeah, they're probably going to fire her.
Yeah.
She's pushing too much. Like, I don't know what's wrong with Hollywood. They push out the liberal woke stuff and nobody's asking for that.
Identity politics, yeah.
Nobody asking for that. It's like, please stop that. Yeah. It's one thing if you put like subtly something in a movie, and then it's another thing when you're trying to really just like hammer people head over their head.
They're race bending every white characters with red hair. They're race bending every white characters with red hair. That's what they are doing. They're not going to race bend black characters. They're not going to ever do it. But they're race bending every white characters because the SJW are out with vengeance. The SJWs are out with vengeance right now.
Yeah. And the LGBTQ community, they're flaming right now. I'm like, man, dude, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? And then AI now is a thing that really could take away people's jobs and stuff. So it's a real serious issue out there.
That's why they are striking for. They're going to lose their work using AI. They don't give them it. That don't sound right. And I agree with them. I am with them.
I totally agree with them.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said before, you know, so Rebel Moon definitely looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to this year Oppenheimer. I gotta see Oppenheimer. I heard it's 3 hours long. I heard it involves a lot of different things. So I want to see what that involves. And Albert Einstein was in that movie and so on. So I really want to see the movie because I'm like, again, I like realistic things. I like history pieces. I know Christopher Nolan can be a little dry and boring sometimes, but I think it's going to be interesting.
It's not everybody loves Christopher Nolan. Many people say Nolan is a hack, this, that. And they never do like Nolan. They're calling them Nolan fags, you know.
Oh, Lord.
Fan base are divided right now because the fan base are at war right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, Lord. But I like Christopher Nolan. I didn't like all of his Batman movies. The movie I really liked was The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Batman Begins a little too long for me, but it does fill in the gaps. And The Dark Knight Rises, I wasn't really, it was all right, but you know. But I love The Dark Knight. He really killed it on that one. That one was, he killed it on that one. I can't even front with that. That's still one of the best comic book movies out there. I'm gonna lie.
Nolan is not really much of a DC fan, not really much of a comic book fan, and he has no interest in the shared universe. That's the thing. I said, Nolan should stay with Zack and keep them away from Zack, but he wasn't interested. You know, he should be there. Zack would be allowed to finish his thing.
He thought that the executives and stuff would respect his name, and they would allow Zack to do his thing. I guess not.
Yeah. No. Yeah. and Nolan stopped the Justice League Mortal movie from making. That's the thing I
I know,
really
but
for.
as you know, if he didn't do that, it wouldn't have never been the first. DC wouldn't have been the first to make a billion dollar movie.
Okay.
So it's a good thing he didn't do. Because remember, Justice League Mortal was coming. It was going to come out the same year as The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Yeah. But you remember, he put Zack Snyder there to make a Justice League movie. So
yeah.
So, but it is what it is.
It's what it is. Yeah. Everything is gone bad because of WB's incompetence. You know what I mean?
Well, it was again the executives keep on trying to change up stuff, and should just leave stuff alone and let it play out. Right now they're leaving stuff alone to let it play out after everything flopping. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Now they hell bent. Okay, this is the way we're going to go. Regardless,
too late, and the strike,
millions of dollars.
The millions of dollars. This big strike.
Yeah.
This strike may not be resolved. It may not resolve by year, and if you don't resolve by year end, everything is dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. They're gonna have to put out Zack Snyder's Justice League to get some
money. And I sell DC. Because James Gunn is dead on the ground. His plans was not dead on the ground.
He's not
dead in the water.
Why do people feel James Gunn is a world builder? Why do they feel that?
He's not
a world builder.
No.
Kevin Feige is a world builder, not James Gunn. Yeah. So
and they have a movie in the Marvels coming out. I'm not interested in no Marvel. That's going to fail as well. And the Marvels, Kevin Feige, name the Marvels. Not interested. Sorry.
It doesn't look like anything I'm interested in either.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Because they come with the same old approach. It's sad. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it.
Identity politics thing and all of that. Women power.
Nobody has a problem with women power, but the problem is you don't need to even say it. I mean, you just look around you.
They decide to go left instead of right, and they let it go too far, claiming that all men are bad. I know I'm not bad.
Exactly.
They look down on us men. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just not gonna work. So you can't go forward that way. Yeah,
no.
Not going.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's basically it. So we spoke about all the upcoming movies, some of the movies from the Snyderverse was going to offer. Then we spoke about a little bit about DC and how, again, the executive arm of DC kind of messed up everything for us.
Yeah.
And then we just spoke about some of the movies we're looking forward to. So you just talked about a set of them. I even know there's so many.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to them myself. Also, I think Zack Snyder next year will have part 2 of Rebel Moon. So part 2 of Rebel Moon should be next year as well. Because part 1 is this year. I hear it's part of a 3-part series, you're saying?
3-part, a trilogy. Yeah, he's doing a trilogy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he has that and he has the Army of the Dead thing going on.
Yeah. But this strike may delay some of them. The strike thing may set back because everything is on stall because of the strike.
Oh, and next year there's Avatar. I believe it'll be Avatar 3.
Avatar 3, yeah.
So that's another thing worth looking forward to. You watched the first Avatar movie, the second one?
Yes, I watched 2. I watched the first one and the second one. They were okay, decent.
Right.
Avatar Way of the Water. Yeah.
Man, you really watch movies. I started going. This weekend I didn't go in and see Oppenheimer, but I definitely want to go and see it during the week. So hopefully I'll have enough money to go see it in the theater.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Yeah. I'm not going to watch no Barbie. And if I could catch Transformers Rise, if I could catch Transformers Rise of the Beast one more time in theaters, I don't know if it's still showing, but if I could catch it one more.
Mission Impossible did reckon in part 1 is not bad either with Tom Cruise. It's not bad.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So I'll go this week to the movies, man. It'll be movies runs.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so very much once again for being a guest on our show, Leroy Kong.
And again, no James Gunn DC for me. James Gunn total boycott for me. No James Gunn DC for me. Sorry.
I'm hoping and praying Ben Affleck will return to the Cape and cowl and give us A Batman movie. That's what I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to. You know, I
Thank
don't
you.
know. Next year's Matt Reeves the Batman 2, part 2, I think.
That 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 is also going to that's also put on hold. It may be cancelled. It put on
All
hold
right.
right now with the strike because of the strike.
That's what I was hearing. Like
Yeah,
Robert, they're looking to cancel the Batman 2, which is crazy.
yeah, because of the strike. Yeah, so we will
But that's a
see.
money maker though. That's a money maker
Yeah,
though. You can't.
yeah,
They crazy, man. They crazy. I
yeah,
ain't know what they're trying to do to DC. They're trying to destroy DC.
yeah, yeah.
Good
All
lord.
right then. Thank you for allowing
Yes,
me on
man.
your live. My apologies if
Well,
I
thank
bored you.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you for coming
I,
on the live. I need to come
yeah,
on one of your lives whenever you put in our lives. So you need
yeah,
to heads me up. Just send me a link or something and I'll try and hop on.
yeah. Whenever I'm ready, cause my lives are boring. My lives are mediocre.
No, I don't care. I'm coming on there to spice it up a bit.
Yeah.
So let me know, man. All right,
Yeah. Then
Leroy.
so take care. I salute
You
you.
too.
All
Yes,
right.
man. God bless.
Bye bye.